of the Humane Society of the United States reportedly stepped down on Friday amid pressure from employees and donors over allegations of sexual harassment. The New York Times reported that Wayne Pacell told Humane Society staff members of his plans to resign in an email saying that the organization's mission depends on unity and that it would be best for him to step aside. I am resigning effective immediately to allow that process to move forward expeditiously and to put aside any distractions in the best interest of all parties, Pacell said in the email, according to the Times. Pacell's resignation came after a majority of the Humane Society's board of directors voted on Thursday to close an investigation into his alleged behavior. The vote, however, prompted 7 board members to resign in protest. So, this story is part of the Me Too movement and all the little harassment charges we've seen since October. And it's kind of interesting how I would not care about this organization, its cause, its purpose, were it not for this story, which kind of presents this idea of, are we really that invested in drama to where it makes us become interested in things that don't even particularly have to do with just that topic alone? You have a CEO of this, board that is taking the brunt of charges that we've seen for the last, what, now 4 months, and under normal circumstances, I would just kind of turn a blind eye, um, because we've seen, even though we've seen these charges before, there's still something that is not taken at any relative um, matter of just continuous circumstance. So you won't have people prior to the Weinstein thing that was just going to say, oh man, harassment charges today. Who? Whoa! Now it's kind of become this thing where we all sort of just go, oh, another day, another charge. Oh, yeah. Well, that's interesting. Oh, okay. And it's sad too because in not knowing because I have no reason from just reading this to be accepting of this idea that the people who've charged him with allegations are lying. Problem is when you have a story that is so similar to others, there is a general level of fatigue that comes into place. So a good example would be if I were reporting on someone that decided to set their car on fire, and tomorrow I report on someone who set their car on fire. Now, if you read those two stories, you're gonna go, "Whoa, 2 people setting their car on fire consecutively? I've never heard of that before. That's very surprising and disturbing." But after I do a story about someone setting their car on fire for 3 months straight, every day, me getting a new video about someone who set their car on fire, you're going to get fatigued. You're going to say, "Oh, I don't want to hear about this anymore. I don't want to read this. I don't want to watch this." And it kind of presents a narrative where, well, what do we do then? Do we just shut up and not speak about this because other people are coming out? It's going to create almost a reverse effect where people who are, and I've said this a couple times before, impacted by this matter of lifestyle, which is to sexually assault someone or be the victim of such activities, are now going to think, hey, wait a second, if I come out and say this, who's going to believe me? All these other people claiming things, and if they do believe me, they're also going to get tired of it. I just think that this story is part of that narrative, and it's gotten to a point where I feel you could just take the name of the company, the actions of the people in the company, and the names of the actions that were described, and just replace it with anywhere else and get the same result, the same level of interest. Because now we're getting into a thing where they're just stacking on top of each other, and you're zoning out, even if not. It's not necessarily having to do with just being tired physically, but just every day waking up hearing about the news story of someone getting touched, or felt on, or groped, or grabbed. And like I said, it's not something I'm particularly proud to admit, but I have become accustomed to this stuff now. Just these charges, not even harassment in and of itself, but just allegations being levied against a person. And it's sad because, well, I'd like to believe in some of them, it becomes this thing where it's as though there's a gender dynamic where you'll have males will go, oh man, some of this stuff is whatever, and then you'll have a fraction of females that'll say, wait a second, you don't believe these charges? You're part of the patriarchy. So you you can't win either way almost. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.